Welcome back, my dear student. So it's time for us to start pulling information out of our database so that way we can make sure and verify that what we're getting, the information we're getting from the link in the email is the right information. It belongs to the right user. So let's start by creating a prepare statement real quick. We know that we need an if statement, okay, just like we did in the last lectures. And we are going to create a variable here right away. Make sure that we put this there. First connection parameter is a connection. Second would be a query. So let's make the query here. You're gonna learn about making a select query with prepare statements. So let's pull out the username. Let's do the user email, and let's do this from users where remember that we are going to get this value from the URL on top. Okay, we using question mark, remember that. So let's create a couple more functions. MySQLi, SNTP, and we're going to bind the parameters. We are going to get a string on that URL, and of course, you know what, let's create a variable because we're not going to be dealing with getting this on the URL now. So let's create a variable with that value so that way we can test this out. Let's go to the database and get that code that we have there for that specific user. Let's paste it here. Okay, so that's what we're going to bind. Remember that we are going to be binding that to this here, to this question mark. Okay, so the next thing to do would be to execute this code. Um, then we want to fetch it. And maybe we want to close this, close the statement when we're done with it. Okay. So here in this fetch, let's just close that real quick. So here in this fetch function, this fetch function is going to actually, you know what? We need another function here. I almost forgot. We need to bind the results. Bind results like this. So that way we can pull out the information from there. And we're gonna do this in order. We got this column here. So we want to pull down that value in a variable called username. We want to do the same thing with the email and the same thing with the code. Okay, there we go. And let's just make sure that that works. Well, we're not sure if it works yet. So we're just gonna echo out something from the database. We know we're getting the username from the database, right? So let's check this out to see if it works. Let's cross our fingers, okay? Reset PHP, and it looks like it works. So we're pulling that value of that column that it has a token that equals to that. We're pulling out the username. Good, it's working. Great. Okay, so that's the first part. Then what I want to do is, if let's compare some of this. If let's say the get request from the URL it's not equal to what we get from the database, or get email is not equal to the one we get from the database, then we want to redirect to something. We can we can actually fix this and make it better later. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can come up with some really good logic for it. Okay, you can make it so both of them have to pass. Both of these conditions have to pass for this to work. Okay. Right now I'm making it so if any code here does not match the one we got from the database or the email does not match, we redirect right away. Okay. And I'm gonna actually comment that out for now. And we have to work on the form fields. We're gonna have some form values here that when we click on it, okay, we need to make sure that, and this form here has passwords. Okay, so we need to make sure that these passwords match, these two values here match before we do anything else. And we also have to hash the password, because what we're going to be doing here is we are going to be hashing the password from this form so we can insert it or update the field in the database. Okay, because we are going to be updating this field here. Okay, that's what we're doing, but we got to hash that first. Okay, so we're going to start doing that in the next lecture, guys. Thank you so much.